Hello and welcome back. I can't believe I've been gone for so long. I had to take a break. I didn't intend to take a break. I had to work on me. You hear that all the time. I definitely did. I been working on my teeth. I got these Invisaligns in, and I tell you, those top teeth. My whole life never been like that. So I've been working on my teeth. I've been working on myself in counseling. I sought out some counseling, and I've been doing that for almost 2 years now. And that break that I've taken, a big part of that break is depression, anxiety, fear, fear most of all. And you keep hearing all this type of stuff in motivational things, or at least, I heard a lot of it myself, looking for motivation, looking for a cure of my fear and my depression. But keep hearing, like even in films, TV shows, all this motivational slogans, you don't hit anything you don't shoot at, if you don't try, you can't fail. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't trying, so I was minimizing fail. And the reason why I was doing that is because of fear of pain, because I was the one applying the pain. I was Every time I failed, I would hurt myself. I would cut myself down. I would, just be my worst enemy. And the thing with trying to overcome pain, trauma, whatever it is, there's the past that you got to confront. There's things going to end up living rent free up in your head, and if you don't master them, they'll master you. If you don't master fear, fear will master you. If you don't become friends with pain, it will be your enemy. And the nature of having an enemy is that one has to be the aggressor. And once that aggressor is decided, they make the rules. They make the rules. They set the pace. So I let my fear dominate me. I let my pain override me, and they chose. So if you've ever watched a fight, like in boxing, and you see someone clam up, well, they're no longer the aggressor. And the person now on the offense, the attack, they see their opponent with their guard up. So they just start throwing. They start throwing to the body, they start throwing to the head, they start trying to get around the guard. They try to, slip up in between the guard with uppercuts. And it's just how it goes. It's not fair, but life isn't fair. So if you're not the aggressor, that means someone else is. I let life be my aggressor for a good long time. I wasn't taking any shots on things like I am now. I was dominated by failure, the fear of it, and that's coupled with being a perfectionist. I overthink, I overanalyze, I I get scared, and these are habits that I throw all that anxious energy into, thinking and analyzing, and so I let all my opportunities to take a shot pass me by because the circumstances weren't perfect enough. And again, going back to motivation, you miss every shot you don't take. Well, then how do you get better? By taking the shot over and over and over and over again. I was listening to this one guy that's successful, and he goes, all these people that are trying to have a 30 wins and 0 losses type record will never start, or they'll pick and choose their battles, but like momentum will not be on their side. But the person that's got like 119 wins and like 97 losses, that person goes, that person moves forward, that person is not held by the fear of loss, they're not held by the fear of it not being perfect. But now that they have such a record, you would think, if you never knew that record but just met them, that they're very close to perfection. But that's only because they found out every other way not to, or every other way to fail. There is Jocko on YouTube here. He was got a letter from someone that got motivated and inspired by Jocko, and he wrote him and told him, Jocko, you turned my life around. But I'm in my mid-30s, and the only thing I'm struggling with now is how long it took me to get my life in order. All that time that was wasted. They're trying to reconcile that. So it was difficult for him to try to get past the past, even though in his present he was succeeding. So what Jocko said back, he goes, you can't look at that time as wasted at all. Think of it as reconnaissance. You went into enemy territory and you laid around on a couch and you ate potato chips and you drank beer and you did all these other things that you don't do now, but you did it in the past. But now you know every way how to fail. Now you know what it's like to fall and lay there at the bottom. So it's not time wasted. It's invested time in what to avoid. And there's a lot of people that succeed that they don't know what rock bottom is. And those people we envy because we want to be them, but you can't be them. It's already too late. You're already who you are. Whatever age you are, it's already too late. You got to be you. You got to have your record. You got to accept your record. You got to accept your limitations. You got to accept your strengths. But the thing is, your limitations are fluid. You start practicing at something every day, well, you're going to change. And that's what I had to do. I had to do a lot of things differently. And I still am, and I'm not even there yet. I got a couple things that I did change, though. I used to write all the time, but nothing productive because they weren't stories. They were character designs for Pathfinder. But I would write for hours every day for nothing. It wasn't doing anything for me. So then I said to myself, well, if I'm going to write this many hours, why don't I just do something that I enjoy writing that's not character design for a game? How about I write dialogue? Because I love writing dialogue. I love talking. I like listening. I really do. I like to hear perspectives from other people and learn. Helps me grow as a storyteller. But I changed that time spent writing Pathfinder characters, and I started writing just dialogue of stories already written, stories that are in my head, and I started doing that every day. And then my counselor is saying, what about working out? And I wanted to work out. And I would try and fall off. And I'm still trying and I'm still falling off. But I'm trying more often now. And how that works is that I'll challenge myself. I'll say, I know you can work out for 5 minutes. So let's do that. And I will. I'll get up, I'll grab my weights, and then I'll put something on, and I'll put on a timer or something, or the video will be a certain duration. I'll say, well, it's like a 7-minute video, so at least I can work out during that video. So that's what I do. It's getting me to do it more often. It's not steady. I haven't built a schedule. But everyone that's beating themselves up for not having a schedule. Schedules you gotta earn. To build a schedule and then just throw yourself into it. If you can do that, good for you. But if you do that and you fail, there's reasons. It's too much at once. You gotta build up to it. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build up. I'm trying to build up a lot of new habits. Bad habits are very easy to make, hard to break. New habits are hard to make, easy to break. Sucks, doesn't it? But that's the way it works. We can't deny the world we're living in. That's the other thing. Ideals did not serve me. They led me down a lot of roads that resulted in me not growing in the way that I thought I would, or grow in the way that I wanted to. Instead, it just kind of coupled with an aspect of me that it should not have coupled with, and that's that overthinking and overly critical perfectionist. Those got together, and I just end up just abusing myself for all the failure and falling short, and it's just not good enough. So now I'm trying not to compare to myself to people that are succeeding in ways that I wish I could, because I'm not them. I'm never going to be those people. I'm only going to be me. I can change my name. I can do all sorts of things, ignore my history. But that does not change me. All the decisions that layered into who I am are still going to be there. All the inactivity and hesitation that overwhelm me are still going to be there. We cast a shadow. Every single one of us. We all cast a shadow. And if you don't look into your own shadow, these behaviors will not change. So I decided to cook for myself a little more. I decided to convince myself a handful of times per week I would do at least 5 minutes of workout with weights or stretching or both. I try every day to at least write for 5 minutes, but that usually turns into 2 hours. I still listen to those videos on philosophy. Not as often as I want to, but I still do. They help keep me in perspective. So I want to say thank you for watching all my videos. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for subscribing. And I've been airing all this in a way for multiple reasons. One reason is I want to keep myself honest. This helps me keep me honest. The other is if I help anyone, that's worth it. That's more than enough worth it for me. I like helping people. I know what it's like to be lost. I've figuratively believed like I was lost in the woods for most of my life, in a panic, in a shadowed, no sunshine, thick canopy forest. Can't see the trees from the forest. Don't know where I'm going. Don't know where I've been. And that's how I used to look at life. And the world was out to get me. And every catastrophe was someone else's fault. Since I've been taking ownership of all the things that I've contributed to my life that have caused me to have any type of failure or shortcoming, that ownership has elevated me to try harder or try differently. to retire a habit and try a new one. The beauty about being self-aware is that you start to recognize your own patterns and what wells up in the moment. And your emotions are very powerful and they are very purposeful. I had the mistake of treating my emotions like a misbehaving dog. I was rough with my discipline on my emotions. I wanted them in line. I wanted them to obey me. But like a dog, why would a dog obey someone that's not nice, that's not nurturing? They'll do it out of fear, but the performance isn't what you're looking for anyway. So I've been trying to be more gentle and understanding with myself. I've come a long way in that. I still have things where I shake my head at myself or, wish I did something different. But you gotta accept those moments and own it. You gotta, when you do that, it helps you not want to do it again. If you truly don't want to repeat something, own that you did. I broke that. I didn't show up when I told someone I would. I failed. I fell short. You own it. You apologize to the person involved or people involved, and you do your best not to do it again. But the most important part of that is the owning. And when you say it out loud, the power that you get from it, and I know this sounds a little abstract, but just think on this. Let's say you do nothing but tell the truth. But someone was misled, and you were part of that. You contributed information that wasn't clear enough. And they come to you, hey, my day fell apart. I took the information you gave me. It didn't pan out. My day's a wreck now. I lost money. I'm, whatever the circumstance of the problem is that when you own it, when you say it out loud, there's a fear to do that. You can acknowledge that fear and just do it anyway. So how do you get past the fear? Well, you got to do it with baby steps. If you are dominated, if you're dominated by fear, you got to take baby steps. If you're not, if you've got like a 50-50 relationship with your fear, like you can jump off of bridges, but you have a hard time calling for pizza, well, you got to start. So just jump in like you do with the lake, the river. Just do the same thing. Just pick up the phone one day and just be, oh, I would like a pizza. Panic your way through. Then laugh at yourself for the panic. It's okay to panic and it's okay to laugh at yourself. So I started laughing at myself, taking myself less seriously, and massive shifts in my character, massive shifts in my anxiety. I'm still filled with anxiety. I'm still filled with fear, but I'm betting on myself more often. I have come so far in my growth, but the reason why I'm still struggling with this is how far back I started. I started really far back. I was in the depths of shadows. Never seen the sunshine. So that was a long journey to take just to get to here. But now I can see the sun every now and again, and I see a break in the trees every now and again. The goal isn't to get out into the field. The goal is to go where you're going. And where are you going? You're trying to find your purpose. You're trying to find what makes you happy. You're trying to find whatever it is that you're trying to find. But sitting around doing nothing, that can't be a goal. There's atrophy, stagnation. You can't have that. It's not good for you. It's where a lot of anxiety and depression comes from. But with every characteristic that is not like fear or laziness, these things are demonized, and there's a virtue in all of them if you can find it. So with fear, now you find out what you're insecure about. It's telling you something. It's being very helpful. Perfectionism. That's a heavy load of being insecure. I am someone that used to be extremely insecure. And for people that know me, that would be like, no, I know him. He's not insecure. I've always been insecure. So everything that you've seen, that you saw was confidence, is either something that I knew I was good at or I was faking. It's the truth. And those are just moments. Just moments. So now I'm trying to accept the world around me more. I'm trying not to be as idealistic, because ideals are just ideas. They don't really exist. There's something to strive towards, and there's something noble about that and empowering about that. But you got to be careful with ideals. Ideals can be like, like that mirage in the desert. They can eat up your time, eat up all your money. It's dangerous. You're going to have a healthy relationship with an ideal that you can achieve. And if you more pay attention to the moment in the journey and the how close you've gotten to that destination, you will travel faster. It's counterintuitive. It's the turtle in the hare. Why does the turtle win? Slow and steady wins the race. Why does that work? Well, when you're in the moment, there's no expectation that this moment is going to lead to whatever goal it is at the end of the road. That goal can be a reward. It can be an acknowledgement. It can be a lot of things, but it can't be what you're paying attention to in the moment. So I stopped thinking about where I'm trying to go, and I started thinking about what I need to do right here, right now. And that has brought more happiness in my life than before. But don't, misunderstand me. I can find happiness and I enjoy it when it finds me. But my life is not filled with it. Nor is it filled with misery. But it's filled with fear. It is. It's filled with anxiety. It's filled with expectations. And but the better I got to know myself, the better I got to cope with the moment. And then rise to it. Answer it. Step up for it. My personal relationship with myself is, in the past, extremely unhealthy. I would help people, but it helped people the way I'd help myself. And I always wondered, why am I the last person called when things go, sideways? Why am I the last to be called? Well, it's because the way I'd help people is the way that I'd help myself, which was with a rough hand. I was not gentle. So this is what awareness can give you. It could help recognize the patterns that are holding you back, that are building a wall in front of you, that are getting you to turn around in circles and continue to be lost. Your mind and your heart are great servants to you, but horrible masters if you let them run it. You can't let your mind run you. You can't let your heart run you. You got to let them accent you, give you detailing and identity, but they can't be what's driving. What needs to drive is your knowledge and your presence. That's why you got to learn as much as you can, but be here. And that's difficult. It is, but I'm doing it. And if I can do it, the rest of you can do it. It's just new practice. You all know how to tie your own shoelaces, but there's more than one way to tie a shoelace. That's what this is. So I'm trying to take more shots and not care if I fail. Laugh at the ones that are, hilarious in execution. That is deliverance. That is freedom. That is overcoming your own shadow. On a long day, that shadow's bigger than you. Think on that. That is a metaphor for those days when you have no hope or a very low supply of it. But even in those down in the dumps moments, you can still do 5 minutes of something. And that's what I didn't know. I didn't know that. I was just so fixated in letting my emotions and my fears coming out of all those emotions ruminate, and just, which would cause stagnation, because I'm not moving. I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving backwards. I'm not moving anyway. So this is how I've changed in that year. I didn't want to make a video because it wouldn't be perfect. I didn't know what to talk about. I felt ashamed. I felt lazy. I felt all sorts of things that got between me and making videos. And I enjoy making videos, but for the longest time, I let that side of me dominate me. If this was a MMA match, I'm on the ground, staring up, arms up, blocking, but I'm getting mauled. I was getting mauled for that over a year that I haven't made a video. So I've been making changes. I've had really good headway in my counseling. I'm in courses now in university that make me happy, even though they require work. See, you can find things that just make you happy, but they got to be enriching. They got to challenge you, and that's what these are. These courses are challenging me. So there's that. I've had a little bit of an awakening because of all these little shifts. And that's what it takes, these little shifts, and before you know it, it's different. So all of you can do that. You just start changing things that you have the power and control right now to change. Don't tackle something that is overwhelming right now. Don't do that. Tackle what you can. Find the thing that you know you can succeed at. That you can succeed at. And then let that, as the expression goes, let that one good turn, that deserves another. One good turn deserves another. So follow that method. And before you know it, you're not where you started. And that's the whole point. That's the whole, that's the fruits of the labor, is that they actually come immediately. I didn't know that either. I thought a whole bunch of hard work, no fruit of labor until you get somewhere. Then the fruit just dumps in like a dump truck. No, it's like eating peanuts. You gotta crack the shell, eat the peanut, move on. It's not satisfying in the moment, but if you know that that's what you're doing, then it is. If you know you're saving yourself, then everything you do is satisfying. So this has been an update. I ran this a little long. I'm sorry. I'm happy and glad to be back. I wanted to give you guys an update on why I've been gone, and what it is that was holding me back, and what it is that brought me back to making videos. So baby steps. No more negative self-talk. Every time you do negative self-talk, you clap your hands, you pinch your arm, whatever you got to do, and say no. I'm going to choose to be compassionate with myself. I'm going to choose to be understanding of myself. But the thing is, you got to stay away from self-lying. But I believe in all of you, just like I believe in myself. I think that we're on a precipice of change, not just as an individual, but also as the world itself. We're in a moment that everything will change. So thank you for stopping by. It's great to be back, and I'll have another one for you. Talk to you next time.